We actually met on a ski lift at Snowboard.
Oh, nice.
23 years ago.
How many?
23 years.
Very cool. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Day 2 of the Montucky Clear Cut. Dave, one of the founders.
Dave Redman.
And here's the thought experiment for today. What should the snowboard do? So these guys on Alpine equipment, much higher stance angles, very narrow, much narrower boards. And man, like guys like Dave, it is just whap, whap, and even letting it hook up the hill, especially when it's narrower runs. And I'm gonna tape with the Insta360 eagle eye view, and while you're watching this footage of Dave, I want you to just not even watch his body positions or anything, just watch how the board, the plank of wood with metal edges, interacts with the snow, because you'll just see this repeating theme. And it's like, for me, it's like, feels like riding waves. I'm not a surfer, but there's a bottom, and then you get up the wave, and then you go down the wave, and each, the heel side, toe side, it's different. And even though alpine riding is just our brother in the sport, are related, you know, just slightly different equipment, but it's the interaction to the snow. When we think about carving, exact same physics.
Sure.
How do you view carving? And you know, it takes a while to get to like the levels like you. You've been at it since 1983.
Yeah, so I started carving probably in the late 80s on old Burton gear, and have just kind of stuck with it. And so in the mid 90s, I really started riding carving gear full time. And so the hardest thing about carving is the amount of time that it takes to get really at the higher levels of it. The learning progression can be rather slow, and it takes a long time to get the muscle memory to where things are flowing very smoothly. That being said, the first time on any equipment, skis, snowboards, carving boards, the Knapton Twin, the second you feel that first carve, you are hooked for life. And it's a lifelong learning process. I mean, I've been doing this for a really long time, and every time I'm out on the snow, I learn something new and add another tool to my bag of tools that I use to go down the slope smoothly and gracefully. So it's a lifelong learning, and it's super duper fun. Once you're hooked, I can't believe I've been doing this, well, since '83, snowboarding, and something about this sport and the people continually pushes my buttons and makes me change all my life decisions to spend more time on the snow.
100, and I'm getting there too. I'm working on it, and it is this lifelong thing of just like, once you feel the real carves, you can't undo it.
Yeah.
You just keep seeking those sensations. They're thrilling, you know. I used to ride park and pipe all day, every day. I got my adrenaline rushes with those. The impacts on those, they add up. Where there's more carving stuff, it's really just feels like a fun physical workout.
It certainly does. You know, and one of the things is carving days tend to last all day unless it's super soft snow. You know, where powder days, you know, if you're not there first and getting the first lines, you know, the powder days are awesome. But like carving days last all day typically. I mean, you can carve bell to bell all day long.
Dave always seems like a master of just staying so relaxed within these crazy turns that he'll be doing. So let's go make some turns.
Can I give you a tip
Yes.
on how that?
Yes.
So the biggest thing is, as adults, we tend to be in our heads too much and overanalyze every single thing we're doing. And so it makes learning really challenging. Why kids learn so much is because they're not hung up on all the details. They're, how does it feel? How does it sound? You know, how does my body feel? And so as adults, we need to like almost take our brains out of the equation a little bit. And so one of the things I recommend is to listen to a little bit of music and chew gum. It detaches your brain just enough to let things flow.
I love it, Dave. Let's go watch some
Let's
flow.
go ride. Be random, like their hover would just go rock steady.
Nice.
And as soon as they quit talking, all over the place.
I know the same type of feelings with foosball. Like some people just can't calm their mind down to actually think about what's going on.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of hours to even get to that point.
Yes.
But like once you have it, it just develops more and more.
Yeah.
And then it becomes real addicting. Same type of thing.
Yeah. It's like, this pushes my buttons.
It's 100% trust on the person in the back.
I won't hit you.
Hey Dave, nice
are
turns, man. That was awesome. Got another one in you down here somewhere?
Yeah,
Are we doing that?
we're gonna tail gun.
Tail gunners.
So I'll chase Carver.
You want to keep on rolling, or do you want to stop at the?
We'll stop where everybody's down there.
Okay.
Rolling that
There's
tranny
a
trail.
transition there, right? And then it.
Yeah, rolling that tranny unless you get your timing just right.
Yeah.
Really hard.
That's a hard compression too. Yeah.
one guy coming down right now. Oh, the edge. We'll give him a second. He's making big ones. Yep.
All right, let's do this with me.
I love riding with these guys who have thought about their turns far more and far longer, and with a far larger community than I have had access to for the real carving deal. These guys have helped me a ton. So those turns were amazing, and yeah, if you just watch those edges and what they're doing, just what is that edge doing, what shape is it making? It's using the side cut radius, it's making circular turns. Now if we take normal snowboard equipment, even in my first snowboard videos I wasn't on nearly wide enough boards for, you know, steeper terrain, especially with really high edge angles. I was carving, you know, mellower terrain at edge angles like that. And that's my recommendation if you're introducing yourself to carving. Just go to flatter terrain and just think about tilting the board and letting the side cut do all of the work for you. Everything should feel really mellow. When I'm taking mellow carving runs, I literally feel like I have a lower heart rate at the base than even at the top. Like, it just can feel really mellow. And then when it snows really good, then you start pushing it a little further. And if you start booting out, then just start taking steps with that. If you're only booting out on the heel side, shift the bindings towards the toe side. If you're only booting out by dragging the toes, shift the bindings towards the heels. And if you're booting out on both, if you start going wider, if you're interested in carving, I don't think you'll ever look back. It's so fun, and it seems like a very good way to snowboard for a lifetime. So many of the people I used to compete with, they don't even snowboard anymore. It's crazy because it's such an enjoyable activity. So let's go film some more riders ripping down.
You ready to go rip some groomers?
I'm ready to rip some groomers.
Let's do this! Woo! Let's rip these groomers. Ready? Come on now, I got you. I'm so gonna get you. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do it like Ryan Knapton. Ryan Knapton. I'm trying. Do it like Ryan.
On the chair, Dave and I were talking about some safety stuff.
Safety stuff.
When there's trees and, you know, how do we stand out? You give the lowdown.
So one of the reasons I like to wear brighter colors is because of the turns we're making. People aren't predicting what they're going to be, so they have a really hard time judging, and carvers tend to get hit from behind. All kinds of carvers, ski carvers, snowboard carvers, hard boot carvers. And so we started wearing brighter colors so you have contrast against the trees. We've all been seeing people dress like they're going to a funeral when they go skiing or snowboarding, and this is supposed to be fun. So wear something fun because it's fun, and also so that you can be seen and be seen against the trees. Next time you're out riding, look at colors people are wearing, and when you're looking at them against the trees, how much do they pop out at you? And so being seen, super important if you're out there carving.
100%, and bonus, when you're selfie taping or having other people tape you, it actually shows up versus just looking like a black blob. So
yes.
Thank you for that tip too.
You bet.
Very good.
Yeah, so like even his colors against the trees.
Yeah, yep. It's
Orange is good.
just like it doesn't, you know.
It doesn't pop.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
And when you go by the automatic bathrooms, they all turn on.
All the sinks turn on.
This thing gets swinging, hey?
Yeah.
You're heading for the tower on the last run.
Stuff is like coming down from the sky here. Woo! Might be a powder day tomorrow. Here's an interesting learning experience for me upon this trip. I have only progressed up and up and up and up and up and up in a side cut radius. So if we think about it like surfing, you know, we're surfing certain waves over here and then a wave over there, back to a wave over here. And with riding Breckenridge and Summit County, all these mountains that I know very well, thousands of days on them. And when I progressed up, I never felt limited on my board. The wide runs generally are wide enough, and here on my 19.5 meter radius board, I just can't, on some of the narrower stuff especially, and steeper stuff, the acceleration phase of the turn on these narrower runs, I can't fully finish my turn early enough, and I'm just going too fast, so then I'm just not holding purity of the carves. So, you know, so I was telling Dave about this, and Dave was like, yeah, he was telling him and John, and a bunch of these alpine riders, they got different boards for different mountains. So if they're on narrower terrain, then they go to smaller radii, and if they're on bigger, wider ones, they bust out their bigger GS style shaped radius. So I just switched over to those turns were on the 13 meter radius. I haven't ridden this board for years, so it was crazy. It just feels so nimble, being, you know, used to the mechanics of training myself to ride these larger circles. So this will actually probably help me making better turns with these guys, because yeah, I've just kind of been on the wrong radius for these narrower runs. Interesting experiment too here. Yeah, this is a 160 length. I got the same stance width, same underfoot width essentially, but with it being a 160, I did try one butter thing, and it was like, whoa, that took a lot more leverage than, you know, I'm currently on a 156, and I've ridden one of my boards in a 150, and then the buttering was so easy, it was actually too easy, because the pivot points were so close to my center of mass. So just some extra info there. So but yeah, what a great day shredding with all these guys, watching them rip. Thank you all for watching. It's coming down pretty good here, so maybe we'll have a pow day. Look at all these space between the trees. If it's bottomless, oh my gosh, this place would be incredible. So hopefully it snows a bunch. Thank you all for watching. Happy shredding, and we'll see you tomorrow. I think my legs are getting to be toast for the day.